So I've always been a huge fan of Quizlet, and I really hope that you enjoy Quizlet Live as much as my class and I did. I am so excited about this. I literally walked around and talked to 5 of my colleagues just because I was so impressed with how well this game worked. So first thing you need to do is you need to go to Quizlet and you need to log in. Once you log in, if you already have Quizlets, then you can go ahead and select one of these. If you don't, you can use this with any Quizlet there is. Okay, so right now my students and I are studying magical realism. So I can use any of these. I already have one that I used today, so we're going to go ahead and look at that one. So I click on it. We've got all these options: flashcards, learn, speller, test, scatter, gravity, live. This is the new one, and this is my favorite. So we click on live. It says Quizlet Live. It gives you the chance to have a demo or to learn more. For now, I'm just going to show you how to create a game because it's super easy. So I click Create Game. And then it's going to give me a code. Unlike Kahoot, your students don't need to see your screen. They will be doing everything on their screen. So they go to Quizlet.live, they enter the code. Here I am logging in as the student. I went to Quizlet.com/live, and I think it was 595773. Enter my first name. It's going to give me the directions. Everyone's going to get the same question. Only one of them has the right match. So what that means is that they're going to see something on their screen and their friends are going to see something on their screen, and they will have different words. They need to recognize that their definition might not match the word. So let's go back to see this as a teacher. I have 2 students in right now. I have student 1 and student 2. You need at least 6 students to play because you need groups. So I'm waiting for 4 more students to log in. So let me go ahead and log in my 4 more students. Now I have all students in. Some of my students are using a tablet. Some of my students are using their cell phones. It's all cool. I have very creatively named them: student 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then poop. The reason I threw poop in is because if a student throws a name in that is not appropriate, or a student tries to log in twice, or you need to get rid of a student, it's really easy. You just click and now they're gone. Okay, so I have my 6 students minimums. I'm going to create a game with 6 students. So we've got 2 teams right now. We've got the Bears and the Peacocks. Student 1, 2, and 5 is with the Peacocks. The Bears are student 4, 3, and 6. They are random. The first time I did this with my students, they said they didn't want to stand up and move around. So I said, okay, fine, don't. Once we started playing the game, they immediately asked if they could move. They moved, they got with their group, and they really started talking about vocabulary, which was awesome. So at this point, you can add more students if you need to, or you can start the game. If you notice that you have some students together you don't like, shuffle teams. You get the idea. So let's start the game. So all I see right now is that the Bears and the Giraffes are tied 0-0. They don't have anything. So I'm going to jump over to one of my student accounts. I have the word dry. So the words that I have are labyrinths, mortified, jubilation, and gas. None of those words mean dry, so I don't click anything. Now I'm paired up with student 1 and student 2. So let's see. Haggard, escarpment, scapular, resistance. Also not my words, so student 2 doesn't do anything. Now if I'm sitting near student 1, at this point I would look towards them to try to see if they had the word. Now if I think I have the word, then I can go ahead and click on it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I think that dry means haggard. Ooh, I'm wrong and I just lost my team that point. Now it's going to give me the right word, and it's also going to give my other team. I answered haggard, which means exhausted. I was looking for arid, which means dry. A long slope or cliff at the edge of a plateau or ridge. Jubilation, escarpment, flotsam, arid. Now I think I have the, I'm going to guess again, escarpment. Hey, I'm right. Now when I get it right, it also shows as right on my friends page. So flotsam. See, it shows that we've gotten 2 right. An extremely deep hole. That's neither of these. Let's go back to the teacher view really fast. So as a teacher, the giraffes have gotten 2 right, so they get 2 points. Now it's still anybody's game, because if the giraffes miss a question, they go back to 0. So an extremely deep hole. I'm going to go with resistance. I got it wrong. So now if we go back to teacher mode, we'll see that I go back to 0. Now, I promise you, students are talking about vocab. They are talking about which one's right and which one's wrong. If you could try to make them do this silently, but I really liked the fact that they were talking about it. So once they get to 12, that means that they're done. They win. It's going to analyze the answers and let you know where they really struggled, which is also awesome. So I'm not going to continue this. I'm going to show you what happened after my students played today. So this morning, they learned, okay, they struggled with scapular, but in the end, they really got it. They got it really well, even though they confused it with macaw and labyrinths. And I gave my students no prep on this. We just kind of started playing to see how they went. And they need to work on labyrinths, which they keep getting confused with some other words. They need to work on furrow, which they keep getting confused with other words. So now I can tell which words they're still struggling with and which words they keep confusing them with. It's Quizlet Live. My students really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the fact they were talking to each other and collaborating. And most of all, that now they can go home and practice with these words.